Hi everyone. Just wanted to follow up really on the news that the Wyatt Six have returned to SmackDown, returned to WWE. Excuse the glaze from my glasses, by the way. I'm having all sorts of issues trying to get this sorted, so I'm having to like crane my neck and try and just see if I can stop the glare. So apologies about that. Um, so last night, during it was the Fraxium um, Street Profits tag team match, and basically the Wyatts came out and, long story short, just kicked arse. Basically, match got thrown out, destroyed both tag teams. They destroyed DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. I think uh, Candice LeRae got taken out as well. Because she joined DIY earlier in the night, or it might have been just before actually. And yeah, they just caused absolute mayhem. But the biggest thing that I just wanted to talk about was the birthday cake. It was Bray. It would have been Bray's 38th birthday, I think, yesterday. And I probably should have put two and two together because there'd been quite a bit of obviously rest of I love Bray Wyatt and I was devastated when he died. Absolutely devastated. He was such a lovely bloke and like a great wrestler. Um, and there'd been lots of little videos about him in the build up to it, as there always is when there's a wrestler's death. Um, and I don't know. I just didn't think it was anything different. But looking back on it, that there was a hell of a lot of footage about him going into the days before, so maybe they were trying to foreshadow it, or what? Well, obviously they were foreshadowing it. And yeah, it was just such a classy touch. I mean, I don't know if it was Uncle Howdy, obviously his brother, who was the main inspiration behind that, or whether it was a group decision, whether Hunter was the one who suggested maybe it was all of them. I don't know, but it was just it was a wonderful thing to see. I got really really choked up. Like I said, I like a lot of yous out there. I was devastated, absolutely devastated when Bray. Let me just turn that way. I was devastated when Bray died. He was one of my favourite wrestlers. Absolutely loved the guy. And it was it was devastating to me when he died. Absolutely devastating. So anything to keep the guy's spirit alive and around is brilliant. So yeah, congratulations to WWE or Hunter or Uncle Howdy or any of the Whites, whoever it was the one that suggested it. It does mean a lot, and it's just a great reminder of who Bray was. And yeah, rest in peace, always Wyndham Rotunda, because he was he it's such a shame still to this day. He should have been, obviously he was world champion, but he should have been world champion multiple times, and he should have had a fantastic career. More so than he did, really. I mean, obviously he had a great career by anyone's standards, but he was just taken so early. And yeah, it was devastating. But look, if we can live on with the Wyatt Six, then great. At least we've still got a little piece of him. Where the Wyatts go from here, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're exclusively going to be going after the tags. Maybe that's a way of getting them back into it, because I mean the tag team division of WWE, like I said, I've spoke about this before if you've watched my channel. I like Fraxium. To be fair, they're a good new tag team. I've always liked the Motor City Machine Guns since TNA sort of days, so I like Zabin and Shelley. I'm not saying the rest of them are bad by any stretch of imagination. They're all tremendous professional wrestlers, but there's not one that excites me at all. I'm not a massive fan of the Profits. Again, they're great workers and wrestlers. I'd personally like to see Montez have a singles push because I think he's fantastic. No offense to his tag partner. But DIY, again, I like Tommaso and Ciampa, but again, I'd probably like to see him as singles, to be honest. The long story short, back in the day, I don't want to be sounding like the old man again, but there was like, in the Attitude Era, we had so many tag teams, so many great tag teams, obviously with DX and Mankind and Kane, and I mean, you had like Owen and The Rock teaming up and this, that, and the other. And obviously, I know it's a different time period, and it's old man shouting at the clouds and all that business. But I'm just not a massive fan of the tag. So maybe that's a good place for the Wyatts to start. Whether Uncle Howdy goes on to, as the leader of the group, chase after the world title or the Universal. I mean, who knows? Maybe even the US title or whatever. I mean, maybe you could have this new bloodline or whatever they're calling themselves go up against the Wyatts. I don't know. Going into SummerSlam. Or maybe you just have them scaring the living bejesus out of people. I mean, like I said, that debut that they had, whenever it was, like last year, it's the best debut that you've ever seen from a wrestling faction by a considerable distance. It was absolutely fantastic. And that, obviously, you had all the interviews with Uncle Howdy, and it looked like it was building to something. Then all of a sudden, it just went, basically. I mean, they had the feud with Chad, and that was pretty much it, to be honest. They just sort of disappear, and it's like, well, what's going on here? So they need something to sink the teeth into. I mean, maybe I've said this before in another video. I think they need to work with someone big, so it needs to be like a Punk or a Roman or a Cody Rhodes to properly get them over, and then they can be their own thing and like go for maybe even like a, I don't know, like a Randy. I mean, Randy Orton. I mean, obviously you've got a built-in storyline there with the war that you had with Bray, with that, oh my god, I forget the name. That, you remind me in the comments, that ridiculous daft match that they had in the house. I've completely forgotten it. You know the one I'm on about. Yeah, so maybe there's that as well. I mean, there's all sorts they can work with, basically. My point is, I hope that WWE has got plans for them this time, because it's a great stable, and I just hope it doesn't go to the dogs and they do something with it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But like I said, the main thing, Bray, we love you, miss you, mate, and catch you down the road, as the wrestlers would say. Right, everyone, thanks for watching. Just to say, there's lots of stuff coming on the channel. Wrestling wise, I'll be covering Money in the Bank, not this weekend, 2 weeks time, I think. Yeah, it is 2 weeks time. And I've got a wrestling podcast now out as well, Works, Dirt and Kayfabe, which is just on the channel. Do lots of wrestling stuff as well, and there's lots of other stuff that's going to be happening this weekend involving those guys. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all soon. All right, bye bye.